Hello, welcome back. I will continue to talk about the book King Paimon that I have written and the thematics. This is part of a series where I talk about the book King Paimon that I wrote and the different thematics about King Paimon, or the different aspects that appear in the book throughout the story, and it's almost like a continuation to the last recording that I did now about King Paimon and the different type of lessons, or the typical things how he likes to work. And of course we have spoken about all the plus, all the things that one can see now, and almost to say, well, we can talk about other things that almost like he takes meaning out, for us to receive the right message. So almost to say, well, if there is a color or something, now he's able to show you different aspects of different colors, like something from different sides, not only from one side. He will show you from different sides. Same time, he will always, of course, show you things from a certain distance, and he's able to bring that closer or further, or bring color or take color in that way. This, depending on the message, depending on the things that he wants to show, and as I've said, things can float in the air, in the meaning that it just shows the power of the magician, powers that he carries, and the book does have different chapters, or the story does evolve. I did decide to write it in a hymn form, like a poem that goes on 745 pages. Now it is finally one poem together, but there is a story. I just didn't want to make chapters. I didn't want to cut the story. I wanted to make it in one fluid text, and they are like more short verses, almost like a little Greek hymn, or a Greek type of stanza, or like the tone, the number of the syllables, or you say, don't run away from me, don't run away from me, 6, and that too, sorry, I almost like to say one can write the verses in the number, but it's quite similar, like 6, 7, 8. Sometimes, as I've said, it can go to one word or 2 words, and so on and so forth, So the words too that Paimon uses are in general like a lot of consonant and vocals, and he uses different tones throughout the poem. Sometimes it's like different, Sometimes it's more strong, it's more loud, sometimes it's more calm, sometimes it's more poetic, sometimes it's more revealing, sometimes it's like different aspects, It's the thematic today, the different aspects of Paimon, or the different aspects that correlate with each other. Being able to see an object from different perspectives or from different points is very much Paimon. The same with our example with the mirror, the exercise in the mirror. So it's almost like when you look in the mirror, you can imagine like you see something, or there is a vision, or one creates some type of vision, or it is given by Paimon, or it can be something different from a candlelight, to a color, to the entire environment. At the same time, one can hear music, or hear the drop of waters, or when you are in the water you can hear music, stuff like that. Or colors can appear, or numbers, or objects, or images, or like in the imagination, the way like a writer imagines things and somehow then tries to write it, or I don't know, sometimes you write and then it works from both sides. And the writing aspect it is a very intimate work, of course, to write or study a subject. For a story, for a novel, it is almost like a new creation, or it does require some type of work or depth, or some type of exercise and decision making, or different visions or inspirations, or ideas or visions or dreams, that one can include into the stories. So there's always a point, why, okay, well, we have the story, well, what the story tries to tell us, what is the message, what is, these are like different questions, that one can ask, especially in writing a story. Sometimes it happens almost like, by itself, and sometimes it takes a time, it takes work, or it takes some type of resilience, to reach the final point and say, well, it is ready, the book is ready, which it is. Now it is available on Amazon. It's called King Paimon, the Lord of the Abyss, the Lord of the Endless Silence, written by Anais Giulia, and it speaks about the thematic of the silence, the void, the abyss, darkness, eternity, story, love, this has this over words or over thematic. At the same time, it is a book about Paimon. In his honor, I have written it for Paimon, to express what Paimon is, or to create a beautiful story around his name. And it's almost like in the same time there are many motives of these things that we have already talked about, but they do repeat, and they want to be spoken about. It's almost like one can see a key, or one can see a cube, or one can see a certain object, and the exercise with Paimon is not only to see it as that object, but to try to understand what is behind, or the different aspects of that object. That's the reflection point of it. And there is an aspect of distance, of being close, or being at a certain distance, or in a different angle, or in a different position. And there is of course, a beginning, and then a return, or something like for a certain amount of time, or for for a certain amount of time. So the book, it took me approximately 3 months to write, and from beginning to end, the work itself. But I did work a lot, and I am very fast in working, so I was very excited about it, and it went very fast for the amount of pages that it has. And it has a very nice beginning, it has a very nice story, it has nice, beautiful characters. At the same time, it speaks about Paimon. If someone has interest in knowing who Paimon is, or what Paimon carries, or what are the messages, or what are the objects, or teachings of Paimon, one is able to enjoy reading the book and entering even more into the thematic. Of course, one of the most interesting aspects of Paimon, we can all agree it's more the magical aspect of his powers, or the hidden aspect. There is always, one knows, there is always more with Paimon. Paimon always has more to show, or Paimon has, it's almost like, well, there is no end, to his knowledge. There is no end in him, in the things he knows. So a lot of things he can teach, and a lot of things one can learn from Paimon. And the exercises are given now in a way to help, or to guide, or to understand different aspects. It could be even more philosophical, historical, linguistically, or spiritual. I don't know, these different thematics that a book can carry. There are different elements that the book carries. So even if the thematic is, well, it's the abyss or the darkness, the story actually has a lot of life, a lot of love to it. It's almost to say, well, the darkness or the black sky, it's not black. It has beautiful stars, it's shining. Actually, the black, if you look closely, it's like petrol blue, and there's a coolness, and it's the shadow, the calmness, the night, the romantic feeling, the poetic feeling, It says that the setting is important, the colors, the things that one sees, or the elements that one is shown to by Paimon. And the black mirror, it's the message of the black mirror. Of course, there are many, but one message is more like, well, it first represents time, no? The blackness, it represents time. And the element of the floating in the air. Now it's like the first exercises were with the mirrors, almost like on you know, laid on the floor, no? Or we had an exercise with the mirror in the profile. If it is a place where you work or you like to be, you can place a mirror, no? And you can observe yourself, or from different angles, or there are different ways, no? But the black mirror, it's more like a couloir. It's more like it has a length to it. It has a depth to it. No, there is an element of uncertainty, an element of, well, one doesn't really know what to expect or what is going to be there. There's always a higher power, or one feels a higher pull or a higher power to that place. No. Here, well, you know, definitely it's not very different than normal mirror, but the black, I think it represents the magical powers, no? It represents Paimon. And I'm sure, you know, he uses it in different ways, that he knows how, and there are, I'm sure, a lot of different beautiful meanings about the black mirror. And, you know, the color black, or the robes that the clothes that Paimon carries or carries himself in general, like a very, very long, huge robes, which can differ in color. Sometimes you have intense green, sometimes black, most of them all black sometimes, or different ones, no, even red, orange. So he carries, but all the same, almost like the same style of dress, or like a cape, or very large, but different colors, no? And they have this beautiful aspect of this, almost to say, Paimon does have a style, does have his unique style. If you were to see him now, he's like he will look like a superstar. No, he has the pentacles, he has a lot of jewelry, he has rings, he has, you know, his dress, he has necklaces on the around. Like, he's really, you really see he's king. No, he does come into that ownership of having. No, he does show he has, you know, his robes, his silks, his even one point in the poem he says, I have my women, or I have my, you know, so he does carry a lot of things with him. His presence is deep like that, no? At the same time, he always travels with his brothers. He's from a male tribe, and his sigil, it's most like a few men in a boat. There's like the brothers, no, in him. They say he has two other brothers. Well, sometimes they say there are 7 or more, but he's from a male tribe, and there are many men with him, no? Or say Paimon knows many, or there are people who know Paimon. Paimon is known, no? Paimon has a name throughout history. Paimon did appear. Paimon did live. Paimon did have, no? Paimon did appear. Paimon did show. Paimon did speak, no? And he is a certain, almost like he can give you a vision, and then he takes it, and then as I've said, he's the type of teacher who wants to see your reaction, who wants to see how you're going to pass, no? Because it tells him what's the next lesson. He has to observe you as well, no? A good teacher has to observe as well. So he wants to know you too, as your mind works, or what are your feelings now, or he's very curious about it as well. When I started to write the book now, I was almost like in deep, intimate conversation with Paimon, you know, almost like I took him upon on the writing of the book now. It's almost like I knew it's not an easy task, or I needed him, or I meditated or concentrated on him a lot. I love Paimon, or I love the thematic that he carries. I love the story in the book. It's very like pulling for me. I mean, I think his aura carries this. It's very, very eccentric, but very almost, it feels like final. Now when he appears, he likes to show himself. No, he likes to show all the objects. He likes to share. He likes to impress. He likes to be dressed well. No, show himself. He shows himself in his power, in his glory, in his honor. So he does carry. That's very beautiful. And sometimes you see him with red robe, but the red is really fiery. It's almost like red-orange. It's almost like it's like in the sun it looks orange. It's red-orange. And then he likes to combine with black, green. These are more like white, like his representative colors. But mostly green and red. Of course black, no? Black is the first. The black comes a lot. Black mirror, the black belt. The blackness of the abyssal power, or the abyssal, thematic in the darkness, or the silence, no? Of course, sometimes he prefers not to talk and show himself. Sometimes he talks. Sometimes he observes. Sometimes he comes and goes. Sometimes he represents himself, and then he leaves place or space or word for others, no? That's very much Paimon. And the girl in the market, the scene where she first met him, she knows this about Paimon. It's almost like she didn't expect him to stop or even give her any attention. She was sure he's going to just pass. She was sure he will never see her. They will, She didn't have that hope. She didn't have, because rarely King Paimon, notices or will stop. I mean, why? Why would he? He's a king. But he does stop, and he goes down from his dromedare. He always appears on a dromedare, on a camel, because it's who he represents, like an Arabian king or an Arabian prince. And he goes to her and asks her. She's standing down at the foot of a temple, like or a market, at the entrance, and she's playing music or some instrument, and he hears the music. That's the first thing he hears. And he likes the music, and then he stops, and then he goes down from his dromedary, and he asks her, where did you learn to play music so beautiful, child of earth? And that's like the Paimon first question to the girl. And there is this moment of connection between them two. There's almost like the first moment where they look each other in the eyes, or the first moment they hear each other, and then she talks, and then very soon after he asks her to go together on a journey, and they go through the desert together. It's almost like the camel was there prepared. It's of course interesting to see as well the feeling of Paimon when how it was for him, or when he saw the girl, or what impressed him, or the music, or or the entire scene, or of course the girl. He saw the girl playing so beautifully, and then they go together through the desert, and then the night approaches, and then they sleep in the desert. There's this moment, there's this scene where around the fire there's like a tent, and then they sit outside under the dark sky, with the stars in the desert. There's like a mountain behind, and there's the wedding ceremony in the desert as well, where they marry in front of one person. There's this almost expresses the emptiness of the silence of the desert, of the night, of the element of the fire, and the mountain, the stars, the night. There's like a coolness in the air. There's like a very romantic feeling, very silent, very beautiful. And they talk a lot. They talk during the day through the desert, their journey, or they talk more privately in the night. There's this element of connection between them, of talking, showing each other things, expressing or enjoying their time together. And then the travel goes further on, through the desert. It is a longer travel, and then they have some in the book, it speaks very much about the different questions that the girl asks him during their time together, the different thematics or the different questions between them as well. And then the story goes further on, but the scene in the desert is very beautiful described. The colors, the sky, there is a lot of beauty that is part of the poem in describing this love, describing King Paimon and the girl, his future bride, and their talks, their vows, their love story, their connection, their knowledge, their the way they are with each other, when they are together, and so on. And it's very beautiful as Paimon represents the desert, the colors, this dune. It's almost like they are going towards the water. They are crossing a part of the desert, and it's they reach then the shore. They reach home back, and there are a lot of scenes during the day when they do different things together. There's a very serene type of love, a very serene, very beautiful type of love. They feel towards each other. And there are other parts as well, part of the book. It's as I said, one has to read. The book is different. The book is itself, a manuscript is finally the book. So one has to read for himself, and one can discover new things for her or himself. There is always an element of more, or almost like wanting more or understanding better. There are many very beautiful symbols of Paimon, and very beautiful aspects of Paimon that the girl loves, in him, and he loves in the girl. There's the feeling, the song, and the silence. He carries the silence, and she carries the song. And through her song, he starts to talk, he starts to express, he starts to, there's the love that brings both of them, in a way be different for each other, have a different experience. Someone to say, well, Paimon maybe didn't speak as much, but then suddenly, with her he does. Or she was lonely, but once with Paimon, not anymore. There's a perfect fit between them. It's like the last piece of the puzzle, or the puzzle is finished, and then one can enjoy the beautiful creation, or the beautiful, when you have a puzzle ready, It's like, that's the feeling now for me, because I finished the book and it is available, and one can buy it on Amazon. It's called King Paimon, the King of the Endless Silence, the King of the Abyss, written by Anai's Giulia, and it is a larger book. It's a grimoire. It's 745 pages long, so it's a thick one, has very nice cover, where you can see Paimon in his chamber, in his, almost to say, in this abyssal, it fits very much to the scenery that came out. In this robe, in this almost like green-black, there's a certain light that appears on him, and he's like very tall, he's like abyssal, he's like without end. There's this a feeling of huge, or like one can imagine the abyss, like a huge mountain, or a huge canyon, or huge, He does carry these elements. And in the vision that I had today, I saw this very large, very tall library with many, many books. I to say, well, Paimon is a scholar, Paimon learns, Paimon teaches. Paimon has the same quality that he likes in, almost to say, the the souls or the people that seek him, no? The will to learn, to know, to improve, to be better, to elevate, to understand, to enjoy, to... There's a lot of positive elements that can be found in Paimon. Absolutely, the book is really very beautiful, and it's a book that one buys for himself, no? At the same time, you know, it does carry some type of like a longer time for one to read. One does need time to read Paimon, no? That's like the beautiful part or the beautiful thing. And there are so many pages, and one can really enjoy, and you know, there's, to say, the story develops in a very like beautiful way. And I'm going to still talk in other recordings about different aspects of Paimon, or what Paimon represents for me, or what the book is about, and the different aspects or different subjects. Now there's always a lot that one can still talk about. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, take care. Bye.